Hello and welcome to the Paddock Blues podcast. I'm Jamie, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, someone that we haven't heard before on this channel, but I'm sure we'll hear a lot of. Rhiad, you okay, mate?
Yeah, not bad yourself.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Rhiad is a part of and runs with a great team behind him as well. Everton Extra. So I think many people have probably seen on social media that the Paddock Blues and Everton Extra sort of coming together for next season. You know, work alongside each other to basically talk about Everton, something that we both love doing. I'm pretty sure there'll be some ups and downs like there always is. But
Definitely.
yeah, Riyadh, what does Everton? I've asked everyone this, so I'm gonna ask you it as well, mate. I didn't tell you this in the preview, but I'm gonna ask you it now, just to give people an idea of where you're coming from. I know personally what Everton means to you, but just explain like what Everton does mean to you.
Well, it's all we know, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
from birth. It's a stage born into long lasting depression. But we can't help ourselves. We all love it.
Yeah.
And I think my love for Everton grown over the past few years, and that's why I started Everton Extra. So, and even being on this podcast, it's grown even more. But because I wouldn't be on here if I didn't love Everton.
No, of course, mate. I think that it is, isn't it? It's a lovely relationship that we've got with them. But yeah, it's one of them. But I think you must have a psychic ball or something because you picked the perfect day to come on here. So obviously, as we're talking, we know the three of them have left the board. Hallelujah. I
Hmm.
think someone must have been looking down on us today. We've had Denise Barron-Baxendale, Grant Ingles, and Graham Sharp. They've all left. They've all resigned. But there's one that's still left, mate. And I think probably in my eyes, he's the main one. I don't know about you, but for me, he's the main one that he's sort of the kingpin that we've got to take down. Bill Kenwright, he's been told that the statement will be out in 48 hours. But I'll just ask you this. He's given a statement tonight about, oh, thanks very much, basically giving them the support of people that are left. Do you read anything into that, Riyad, or do you think he will go?
I think he'll go. As we know, he's having talks with Mashiri soon about his future. But once, obviously, Denise, Grant Tinkles, and Graham Sharp, they've gone. I don't see where Bill Kenwright stays in all of this. And obviously, we know he hasn't been to the game in God knows how long. So I don't think he'll ever be able to return to Goodison Park. And I think if there was any time he's going to leave, it'll be now. And if he doesn't leave within this period of time of the mass resignations of the board, I think he'll never leave. But
Yeah.
it's gotta be sometime soon that he does leave.
Yeah, no, you're spot on, mate, what you're saying. If he's not going to leave now, he'll never leave, really. Unfortunately, listen, we've said many times on this podcast, we don't wish anyone ill health. He's someone's dad, he's someone's granddad. We're talking about the football side of things here. But I don't understand why he would stay. It's like your mates have all left and you're standing there. It's like, just leave, mate. Just let go. Honestly, just let go. It's time now. This is the perfect time for you. Literally the most
Yeah,
perfect time for you to go. And I really hope he does. Me personally, he's probably wanting the swan song. He's probably wanting sit in front of a camera, giving the old tears with
yeah,
the eye drops and all that type sort of stuff. He
yeah,
doesn't want to just be a club statement. He wants to be this big thing about him leaving, which whatever, let him have it.
yeah. Spot
If
on.
that
I was literally just about to say that. I was thinking he doesn't want to just be another resignation upon four. I think he's building this up now, so we all know he's going to leave and he's going to talk about his good times at Everton and whatnot. But I think he could have left 10 years ago, and he could have been an Everton hero. But
yeah,
he's obviously, we know he's lived long enough to become the villain. Um, like you said, we don't wish ill health on anyone, and I'm sure he's a great man if you speak to him. But like you said, on the football side of things, he's tore this club to the ground, and it's definitely without a doubt time to go, and I can see him going within the next 48 hours. Otherwise, he wouldn't have wouldn't have put out a statement saying the future of the Bill Kenwright in the next 48 hours. So I think he's definitely going to go.
Yeah, well, he's got to go. And listen, I'm a little bit older than you, than I'd like to admit, but I've never these good times that he speaks about. What were they when we played Fiorentina? When we got beat by Dynamo Kiev? When we got beaten in FA Cup final? What are you talking about? And for me, his legacy will be always, you nearly took us down, Bill. Unfortunately, if I ever met him, I'd probably say to him, listen, you nearly took us down. You've got the perfect opportunity now to leave and not be the chairman that took Everton Football Club down. Someone should grab hold of him and go, you've been let off the hook here massively. You need to just leave now before they actually do go down, and that's what you are remembered for. But listen, hopefully he goes and we can talk about him in past tense soon. But we'll just talk about the people that have gone now. Denise Barron-Baxendale, Graham Sharp and Grant Ingles. I know Grant Ingles was the financial officer. Graham Sharp was, I think, probably brought them the tea when they had the meetings. I think that was his role, I'm not sure. And obviously Denise Barron-Baxendale now. I'll just get your opinion really, mate, on there, on the one that Paul calls the battle. Finally, the battle has rolled out. But she's, I seen it, first of all, I seen it was them two, and I was like, all right, okay, you know, maybe the blocks are falling. And then when I went on the club website and seen Chief Executive Officer, I was like, wow. I was thinking, this is big. This, you know, she has gone. It's a good day, isn't it? Listen, what was she there for?
To be honest, I couldn't say it exactly what a role entails with Everton, but all we know is with the recent, you know, downfall of Everton Football Club, I'd like to say it's just she's got to be a major factor in it, because, as like you said, chief operations officer, whatever, she's got to have some sort of role in what's gone on at Everton. And I think it must have been a few years ago now that she said she was looking elsewhere for work. Don't know if you remember that. She put out a statement, yeah. But I think it's good that she's gone, 100%, and hopefully it starts the more people who will follow her, like Bill Kenwright, Mashiri and whatnot. Hopefully in the next few days we do see more of them follow her, and I think without a doubt we will.
Yeah, no, just sorry, what you're saying there about what did she actually do? And listen, people might come to me and go, well, she's done this, and this. Fine, okay. And I don't think I'll probably like hate the woman, because I don't. What I'm trying to say is, if someone said to her, listen, just go and sort the finance, the stadium, all that, which, you know, Kenwright's statement says she was brilliant in doing the stadium and all that type of stuff, well, go and do that then. But when I found out she was sat in interviews, interviewing football managers, I thought, why are you interviewing football managers? You've got absolutely no football background. You know, you don't know a gent press from a bench press. If you're sat there in front of Frank Lampard on the board doing all these bad tactics, you could be sat there thinking, oh yeah, this is sound. And that's not me being like, oh, because she's a woman, she doesn't know. That's got nothing to do with it, because Melinda, who's on the pod, she's very, very good at football knowledge. It's more of she's making massive football decisions and doesn't know what she's looking for. And that was my biggest thing with Denise Barron-Baxendale, was like, I don't care what you do about the stadium. I'm not really that bothered. Thank you for getting it up and running. Brilliant. You know, Everton in the community, you're smashing it. Well done. But why are you sat in and interviewing Victor Pereira and Frank Lampard, Sean Dyche? Why? Sorry, but that's down to the owner and the football director.
For me, it's incompetent. It's what it is. I think across the board, we've got a lack of football brains. Obviously, Bill Kenwright just passed it, and we all know that. And Mashiri, obviously, there's no football background in Mashiri, and for him to, obviously, we had to spell a Kia Jarabshin informing him on who to sign, and El Ghazi coming in, and just being ill-informed by people like that who are ultimately just dragging the club down, and that's all it is. Denise with the no football knowledge, and Mashiri with the no football brains. It's just incompetence from the Everton board, and without a doubt, now we need a full, clear out and get a new fresh set of people in, people who know
Yeah.
about football. Similar to Brighton set up, the way they've organised themselves, and they've had it in the run for a few years now, and we're only just seeing the end result, or if you'd like, of what's going through. Obviously, you've got the likes of Caicedo and Ciso and all that, but that's what we want to see from Everton now. We want to see a long-term plan, because the past few seasons it's been a bit of a rush. We've been signing players for the next 6 months, and to me now, with the transfer links, it looks like we're still doing that. You know what I mean? Well, Weghorst, Moussa Dembele, and signing, like, looking at 31-year-old, 30-year-old strikers. It seems to me like we're planning for another relegation battle. We're looking for experienced players, if you like, and that's literally the entire thing of Everton in the past 6-7 years, looking for experienced players. It's not what we need to be doing, and ultimately it's a lack of football knowledge from the board.
Yeah, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but was Marcel Brands brought in to sort of have to bring in lads under 25 and sell them on for a profit? But that was his whole sort of work ethic, wasn't it? Of like, go and scout the footballers under the age of 25, make them really good football, and then sell them on, do it again. Like a Brighton, as you say, McAllister, Caicedo, even that Evan Ferguson and stuff like that. He's 17. I thought he was well older than that.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we can get back to that. Hopefully this MSP will come in, and whoever the directors come in, they can get back to there. A couple of rumours last week that they like that data ball, is it? I think they call it. Data ball or whatever Brentford do, where they look at they don't just look at the personality of the man. They look at, is he actually any good?
Yeah.
It's not just, oh well, he once played in the Champions League semi-final for for Chelsea. Oh yeah, we'll sign him.
Yeah, that's
you
it.
don't realise that he only played 5 minutes in that semi-final and once all season. Oh yeah, well he played. I think that's what we've got to do. And you're spot on. Everton have come away from that. Like, as I said before, I'm quite older than you, but I remember when we signed. We dived in the Championship with Moyes, Leighton Baines, Tim Cahill, Arteta come from Rangers, John Stones come from Barnsley, who's now on a bus celebrating the treble. Just all these, I could go on. Wayne Rooney come from the academy. All these type of players that because let's be honest, we were skint at the time, but I don't know where that's gone. I actually don't know where that sort of DNA's gone of go and find a good player on the youth level or at a championship level and bring them to Everton. Hopefully we can get that back.
Yeah, just to touch on Marcel Brands, I think I have nothing against Marcel Brands. I think Marcel Brands had a great football knowledge, and I think if he was given the responsibility that he was employed to have, he would have made the right decision for Everton. He's showing it now at PSV what he's capable of doing. I think Marcel Brands was a signed Jared Brandtwaite and Ben Godfrey. They were his signings, and then obviously you had the Doucouré, the Alan, James Rodriguez. They were all Ancelotti signings. But I genuinely think Marcel Brands was a great director of football, but he weren't given the responsibility he was employed to have.
Which is down to the people that are unfortunately no longer here.
Yeah.
Well, happy days. Listen, it's a podcast we've all been waiting to do. I don't know how many times we've come on here and said sack the board. We were a part of it all together now. We've been to all the protests. So, it's a good day. I can sleep a little bit softer in my bed tonight knowing that they're not here anymore. And I think as well, mate, just say, for instance, he does go tomorrow. I'd like to get an Everton back where we're all pulling in the same direction. Because listen, I'm not being funny. You're probably sick of it. I'm sick of it. And everyone that's doing them are probably sick of protests. I know we've had Chris Hannon on the show. He's probably sick of it. He's probably sick of organising them all. He just wants to support Everton. He just wants to wake up in the morning, look at transfer news or the lack of, and just concentrate on supporting Everton, the thing that he loves, not forcing these people out, which he's done, by the way.
Yeah. Spot on.
And you've actually mentioned them, bringing on to my next point. Someone that I looked up to, someone that I was gutted about that he left, but it looks like he's come back to bite us a little bit. Carlo Ancelotti, rumours that he's suing Everton Football Club over image rights.
Yeah, well, what we've been informed is that it's something to do with image rights about Carlo Ancelotti and something along those lines. But it's not the first time it's happened with a former manager in Everton under Mashiri, so not a shock there. But obviously, no one knows too much details. Everton haven't commented on it or anything like that, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. But it's a bit of a crazy story to come out 2 years after he leaves.
I do think it's very Everton, isn't it, that story comes out and within 5 minutes they go, oh, but the board have left.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
exactly.
So it seems a bit like, oh, what, are they worried about that? If they sort of got wind of that and thought, oh no, do you know what I mean? It's going to be a meltdown again. Listen, I loved Carlo Ancelotti. I did. He was a boss football manager for Everton. People might go, oh, he finished 11th. Yeah, he finished 11th because he lost a Corey, and in the end, his midfield was Gomez, Tom Davis, and I think it was Alan. And then even Alan started getting injured. So, but he's gone. He went to bigger and better things, which is fine. I didn't begrudge him going to Real Madrid.
Yeah, I think again that's just a lack of incompetence from the board. Obviously, clearly not having it planned out and know what they're doing. So it doesn't surprise me that story comes out, like you said, 5 minutes before the board leaves. I think they've just thought that's too much responsibility. If we have more of this, and they know exactly where that's going to lead in or whatever, they're going to have to pay off a lot of money, and they know exactly where that's going. They don't want to take on that responsibility, and that could potentially affect the deal of the MSP takeover. If it's as big as we think it is, or it might not be. It might be just a little thing, but with them leaving 5 minutes after or whatever, obviously it'll be planned and stuff like that. But that Ancelotti sue will have been in the making for the past couple of months or whatever. So they knew exactly it's going downhill, and they knew exactly the fans are just going to push way more further against them if they stay on with all this stuff. And ultimately, they don't want to accept responsibility for all this. And it's down to them who've put us in this situation and where we are now. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting what we've seen the past few seasons.
You're right, mate. Listen, it's horrible. I'll just cover it like little bits, but that Bournemouth game, I know you were there as well, and yeah, it was a horrible day, and that final whistle was good. Listen, it was a relief. It was great to celebrate. Not celebrate. It was great to work right. We're not going down, that sort of thing. But I know my feeling of it, and I'll just get that really. But when that whistle went, mine was just a relief sound, celebrated because we won and we stayed up. But then it went to anger, and it just went like, this can't happen again. This genuinely can't happen again. And what was was that your initial reaction, or was yours more of a initial, like, straight away anger?
Well, at first, I think I speak on behalf of all Everton fans when they say instant anger, but some people wanted it to be like last season. That Bournemouth game was not unlike the Palace game. It was more of, it happens once and it should never ever happen again. For that to happen again, every Everton fan should be angry at what the board have put us through once again. And Frank Lampard should have been gone way, way, way before he did. And we wouldn't have been in this situation with Dyche's runner games. And I just think it should have been, and it was just pure anger for the board to go straight away after the full-time whistle went. Obviously, you have the relief that we're not going to be in the Championship, but it's just anger.
Because I know we're going on a little bit of a sidetrack here, but I seen that a tweet ages ago, and I compared them, and I thought that just speaks volumes to me. That Lampard was like, it's a great night for Everton Football Club, and then Dyche's comment was, we are Everton Football Club, this isn't something to be celebrated. Yeah. And I was thinking, my God, when you're caught in that bubble last year with Frank Lampard, and it was,
exactly.
He sucked us all in. Look at him on top of the family enclosure on the boxes. How great is he? And then you stand back in the call that day and go, why is he celebrating that? That's over the top. But you get caught up. Listen, everyone got caught up in the moment because that was just like, wow. But as you say, you're spot on. It just turned to anger, and it was just like, right, get these out, and we have one more to go.
Yeah. The next one on the list is obviously Everton have been linked with Moussa Dembele today, and it's not it's a link that's been familiar with Everton for quite a few months now. What do you think of Moussa Dembele? Do you think we should take him? Obviously, he's available on a free transfer. I don't think it's a right move for Everton. Obviously we should be looking in the free transfer market, but 3 goals in 23 games doesn't cut it for me, especially in the French league.
No, well, and I always look at a player and think, what are the clubs that are trying to sign him? And if no one's trying to sign him and he's on a free, you've got to ask yourself questions and think, well, one, why are Leon letting him go for free? You know, and two, why is no one else sniffing around him? If you have a free hit at a player, then there's something not quite right, because he'll be offered to. Listen, he's not just exclusively offered to Everton Football Club. He'll be offered to everyone: the West Ham, the Palaces of the world, the Fulhams. And if they've all turned around and going, no, thank you, why are we turning around and going, well, yeah, because he's going to want a big wage. He's going to want 90. He's going to want 70 to 90 grand a week. Why are we paying that for a 31-year-old? Really, who probably, when you look at it, his career he was the best in Scotland. He was boss when he was in Celtic.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay, you were sound, you were great at Celtic. Well, if that's the case, why didn't we get that Ryan Kent? He went for free to Fenerbahce.
Yeah.
Why didn't we go and get, why don't we go and bring Henrik Larsson back out of retirement if that's the case, John Hartson. But no, listen, to answer your question, I don't think it is. I think we're clutching the straws. I think he's a centre forward, and everyone's jumped on that. Oh, he's a centre forward. We need one. We're desperate for one. It's like, why don't you stand back a little bit here? It's wages.
It's a sideways step, isn't it? Is it better than what we've got?
I think he's probably the same, mate. If I'm honest,
exactly.
No, Neil Maupay hasn't. I don't think Neil Maupay's hit the ground running, but he's not going to come in and go, "Oh, I'll move out the way. I'm number 9. I'm the number 9 now. I'm going to do this." I might be wrong. Listen, I could be sat here in January going, "He's the new Ballon d'Or winner." Move over Haaland. I'm not going to. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I think there's a lot better out. I'd rather Everton solely focus on the Coventry. If it was the Coventry lad from the I forget his name. What's his name?
Gyökeres,
that's it. I'd be like, yeah, sound young, got a bit of fight in him, on an upward trajectory in his career. Dembele's on his way down now, and it's like he's looking now at retirement, not of, well, I'll go to Everton because I've got the chance to go to Manchester City or Manchester United or Chelsea. That Gyökeres probably has. He's probably looking at Everton thinking, if I make it there, I'll go to City. Then people will go, we can't be a stepping stone. We can. I don't mind the player coming in at Everton doing that well, that a Man City go, here's 60 million quid for him because he's absolutely flying at Everton, and go, yeah, sound, no problem. Go and get the next one. Like exactly what Brighton do.
Yeah, spot on. For me, it's Gyökeres. I'd focus solely on Gyökeres for the summer transfer window, but I just don't think we've got at the minute. I just don't think we can afford them, and we're obviously sporting edging closer to signing them. I just don't think I can't see Gyökeres happening, especially in the midst of what's going on with Everton at the minute. I just don't think we can be expecting any signings for the next couple of weeks, and we know Everton are slower than. And we get stuff done late on in the transfer window, so I can't say now to Everton fans that you can expect signings, because we can't for the foreseeable future. So
no, we haven't even got football kit yet.
Exactly, and Moussa Dembele, he's a no from me, 100%.
No, I don't like the thought of that myself. But were you just saying there about the state we're in at the moment? I think. It's well known that MSP investment, they're ready, they're there. Now, is this a takeover or is this an investment? I don't know. It's changing every day.
Yeah.
Every day you come, they're taking them over. They're going to take over the football club. Oh no, well, it's only an investment of 150 million quid. And it's like, well, what is it? Are they coming in to pay for the ground, or are they coming in paying for the ground and giving them money? You need to know. I mean, in my opinion, you need to get them in now to go, right, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, the Echo say the deal is believed to be worth around 100 million initially, but with the potential for further funds in exchange for more equity, will likely see the American firm take a 25% stake in the club through a preferential share structure, as well as providing a boardroom shake-up with two new faces of their own. Obviously, the boardroom shake-up is a given where the news come out. Obviously, this was from 3 days ago, so the
Yeah,
boardroom shake-up, that's a given now that
it's happening. Yeah,
with the news of Denise and so on leaving. So I think obviously we're going to see, we can expect to see new faces, unfamiliar faces in the ballroom with the interim roles that we're expecting soon. I mean, if Ken Wright is still involved, I'd expect it to be someone closely tied with Everton. You know, your Tim Cahills and whatnot for the interim role at the minute.
yeah.
Exactly the same as Graham Sharp. So, but we can expect to see unfamiliar faces in the boardroom. Hopefully, ones who've got a football brain and know exactly what they're doing and where they want to take the club, and a clear plan where they want to take this club. Because I think at the end of the day, the lack that we've had is a vision of where we want to go, and every other football club in the league has got one where they want to go, and they don't want to be in this state. You know, the relegation battle inside. They don't want to be in this state, and we shouldn't be in this state. So we just need a new boardroom with new faces and whatnot. But like you said, no one knows if it's going to be a takeover investment. So we're just going to have to see in the coming days what it's going to be, because Mashiri doesn't look like he's going to be moving for me. But you know, it could change, because if obviously there's been reports that Mashiri could lose full ownership of Everton without taking a penny back. So we'll just have to see in the coming days.
It's a mad. When I read that, I thought that's crazy. Like that he's going to pump all that money in and walk away with nothing.
Yeah. At the end of
I
the
just
day,
thought that was mad.
it's Usmanov funding all the money. Obviously, we know Usmanov can put his name down
No.
as owner of Everton, but we know Usmanov was involved in the interviews with the managers, and we've got to be asking questions. Why was he involved in the interviews with managers? And obviously, I think Mashiri's. It's a very, very dodgy topic and a very touchy topic with Everton, because with Usmanov and Mashiri, because I think Mashiri's been doing his mates a few favours. Obviously, the El Ghazi signing, he ended up playing 14 minutes for Everton, which resulted in Digne going the other way, which, you know, could ask questions about whether it was to help Villa with FFP or do Keir Jarabshin a favour, give him a bit of a paycheck. But we never know what's going on. We never know what's going on with Everton. And, you know, I think for me, it needs to be a total wipeout, because at the end of the day, we don't know what's going on in the back room, and we don't know whether Usmanov is taking control of everything. Usmanov is talking through, like we see in the club statement, out the bubble, Mashiri will be talking to Bill Kenwright. It could be Usmanov talking to Bill Kenwright. Do you know what I mean? We don't
Yeah.
know what's going on. And hopefully someone that's left, maybe Graham Sharp, some of the boardroom left, fill us in and insight what's actually going on, because it's the least we deserve after what we've been through as an Everton fan. We want to know who owns Everton, who's taking charge, who's telling these people what to do, because we've got no clarity on what's going on.
No, you're spot on, mate. Listen, I couldn't have said it better myself, and I think this, like, we are. I've said it many times. We're a very trusting fan base in a way of just tell us the truth. If the truth is going to hurt, we all sort of just take it on the chin anyway. So if you come out and go, yeah, you know what, we're in a mess here, but we're trying to sort it out, then you go, all right, well, you know what, they're trying to sort it out here, but they're not saying nothing. You know, the silence is deafening, and it's just come out and say to us, he owns it, he runs it, and this is what we're going to do. Yeah, we've made a couple of mistakes here and there, but we'll sort them out. And you've had the perfect opportunity now. Like, we're all healing as a fan base for the season we've just had. And we've got a little bit of good news about the board. This is your perfect opportunity for anyone that's ever listens or whatever to come out and tell us exactly what is going on at Everton Football Club, to come out and tell us exactly what has happened at Everton Football Club, because we won't forget what's happened. Listen, you know, we might be sort of trying to forget it, but we won't let what happened the last 2 years go. So you need to tell us why we're in this mess and why we can't sign it. Why we went from, signing 3 number 10s for God knows how much to now can't even buy, anyone. So we need to know, and I think now's your time to tell us. With the directors have gone, so the people that probably are to blame for all this aren't there anymore. So we can't, as a fan base, we can't go, oh, I told you, get them out. Well, they've gone now. So tell us the truth. I think hopefully it will. Hopefully they do. Hopefully this MSP come in and go, bloody hell, these have run this terrible, and come out and tell us, and that can be their little. Because I think owners sort of do that, don't they? Every time a new owner takes over the football club, they'll always do something to get the fans on side.
A little snide comment on the statement about the way it's being run. Obviously, we know it came out in the past few hours about Ellis Sims, a potential move to Sunderland. It'd probably be on loan. Is Ellis Sims someone you could see in the first team next season?
It's an hard one, mate, really, because the kid hasn't had. I feel sorry for him. He got through in the deep end at Anfield. He got through in the deep end. He done well at Stamford Bridge. We got through in the deep end at I think you got Old Trafford as well. Or sorry, when we played Man United, Arsenal. Sorry, it was. And I just think the kid hasn't had a full chance yet. Maybe Sean Dyche might get a pre-season under him, and he goes, right, this is what we're going to do. We're not in the tight position where we were last season, where he can actually go, well, I'm more relaxed now, so let's see what you can actually do, kid. You're not coming on in these pressurised moments. You're coming on, or we're going to get pre-season under your belt. I hope not. And this is going to sound bad. I don't want us to hang our hat on Ellis Sims when at the first game of the season, whenever it may be, which we'll find out on Thursday, that we're hanging our hat on Ellis Sims because he scored 2. He scored 1 in each game against Tranmere, Stoke and Bolton. And we're all like, we got lost in this. Oh, well, look at him, he's scoring goals. I think the run out of wool to pull over our eyes, in my opinion, where they go, Ellis Sims just scored 2. Tom Cannon scored 2 against Bolton. I think with that switched on as a fan base now, we go, we don't care. He's not ready to play against Manchester City or Chelsea or Luton or all these other teams that are in the Premier League. We need a ready-made centre forward. Because Don Calvert-Lewin, unfortunately, we just don't know what's happening with that kid. But would you? I'll put it back on you. Would you have Ellis Sims? Would you keep him in around the club, or would you let him actually go out on loan and go in there and get paid a little bit better?
Well, he's had a few seasons out on loan now. I think he's done the best he can while he's been out on loan. But for me, watching him at Everton, I don't think he's the end product of what he can reach. So for me, I think another year at Sunderland, if he does well, maybe take him back in January, like we did this January. Give him a run of games. If he does well at Sunderland, take him back, give him a run of games. And if he's better than what we've seen, keep him. But for me, it's send him out on loan. But that is providing we bring in another striker. If not, we've got no other option than to keep Ellis Sims. And unfortunately, we're stuck in the same situation we was last year. With the striker options of Maupay, Ellis Sims, and Calvert-Lewin, who unfortunately was injured most of the season. But like you said with Tom Cannon as well, I think Andy Gordon had 1 season out on loan at Preston, and he didn't do very well. So for me, I wouldn't judge on what they've done at a club, because Andy Gordon came to Everton and we know he was good. He was good at Everton. He may have not got the 20 goals and assists that we wanted him to, but he created chances. And we don't like him now, unfortunately, as he's left. But he did. He created chances, and he had a bad season out at Preston. He didn't perform to the best of his ability. But I just think if Tom Cannon comes back and he does well in pre-season, 100%, give him a go, because he's something different.
He's something different, and the kid looks like he's got a lot of drive. And the things I've heard, I know the interviews that he wants to score in front of 40,000 people at Goodison, and I think a little bit of a drive, someone with a bit of a Rooney attitude of, I'm going to take that number 9 shirt off Calvert-Lewin and he's not getting it back. And I don't think we've got enough of that. I don't think we've got enough. To be honest, I think you look at these players now and you look at like the Declan Rices and stuff like that. These are the players that are Jack Grealish. These players are hungry and really want to win as footballers. And you can go on the other scale, Jelly Ali doesn't care.
Yeah.
And it shows. You'll just get swallowed up in football. And I think we need players like that. We need Everton players to come in and go, right, I'm having your shirt. I'm the left back. I'm coming in. I'm having Mikalenko's shirt, and he's not getting it back. I'm a centre half. I'm having Michael Keane's number 5, and you're not getting it back. I'm in this team, and we haven't had it. We haven't had it for a while. Can't remember the last player we had that really give you that feeling of he's going to run through a brick wall. Maybe Anthony Gordon, but that died off towards the end. But even when he first came, I think that's why everyone took to him, because it was like, this kid means business here. You know, he wasn't afraid. He showed no fear at all of playing in the big matches, playing in the Premier League. It was absolutely no fear. But I'm worried, mate. I've got to be honest. The fact that, we're getting linked with Dembele, as you said before, Weghorst, who's scored no goals in a Man United team that got to a FA Cup final, finished 3rd in the Premier League, and he was their centre forward. He was their centre forward as well, by the way. He didn't just play a too big part. He played a lot of their games at the beginning of his loan spell. I don't know. I think I've just got to hope Dyche can get a full pre-season out of all of them, and he can go, right, I'm desperate for the centre forward. Or he goes, actually, this kid can do it.
Yeah, spot on. Couldn't have said it better myself. I think that's exactly what we need. Someone with that drive, and Tom Cannon seems like he's got it. I don't mean Ellis Sims hasn't got it, but I just don't think what we want from an academy player, the bare minimum, and we've seen it with Lewis Warrington when he played in cup matches pre-season, and he's an Everton season ticket holder. He's a Scouser. He loves Everton. And he just worked for 90 minutes, and that's all you want. And with Anthony Gordon, he was the exact same when he came in. Like you said, he was running all game, and towards the end, as he knew he was pushing the move away, he just thought to got a bit lenient or whatever with it.
Stale, didn't it?
Yeah. With Ellis Sims, I just don't see it. The 90-minute work. Obviously, we know he's a kid, and I don't want to be too harsh on him, but I don't get that. And I know many Everton fans may agree with me on this, but I just don't see the work that he puts in. To be honest, I don't see that drive like I've seen with Tom Cannon.
But the thing is, as well, you've got to look at it. We were struggling for a centre forward, and if you're going to be the centre forward at Everton, last season was your chance.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? Last season was your chance to be the centre forward at Everton, stake you clean. We had no Calvert-Lewin. Neil Maupay was in and out the team. If the kid had anything about him, he'd have been staked in. I think Dyche should have gone, he's the one him. So, but as you said, they had Lewis Warrington, and it's just dawned on me now, actually. And last season we had Lampard, and it was like, he's going to play out from the back, he's going to do this, he's going to have like neat and tidy footballers. I'd like to see this side, maybe Dyche will give Lewis Walton a go, because he runs, which we all know Dyche loves. He wants, look at Dwight McNeil, look at someone who Frank Lampard throws out in Decore. Dyche brought him back and was like, well, no, because he works hard, and that's what we need. We need that now. We need hard workers. And he brought him in, and ultimately he scored the goal that kept us up. But hope Lewis Warrington, that work rate and work ethic will now get noticed under Sean Dyche and be like, oh, this kid deserves a little go here because he's running his socks off, and he's also got something about him. So it's not
just the work ethic. I say he's a Scouse. He's not. He's from over the water, but he's it's not just the work ethic he's got. It's when I've watched him a few times and on loan at Fleetwood and obviously in Everton in pre-season, he's literally what we've been crying out for years. He takes the ball on the half turn, he turns and he looks for passes, and I can see Sean Dyche looking for someone like that who's going to play diagonal balls across the pitch, play it out wide, and obviously ultimately get the balls into Calvert-Lewin if he's still playing. But Lewis Warrington, without a doubt, is someone I want to see in the Everton team next season.
100%. There's someone that I just thought of it, and obviously it was something that I was going to bring up anyway, but it's a departure that it's been rumoured for the last few weeks. Now, I know the last couple of days it's been sort of squashed, but I think it's divided a few Everton fans as well. Jordan Pickford leaving. Now we know he's been linked with Man United. Tottenham was sniffing around him. I think Chelsea at one point were looking at him. In my opinion, I wouldn't sell Jordan Pickford for love nor money. Listen, if the right offer come in and they offered stupid money for him, then yeah, you've got to. But what's your opinion on Jordan Pickford? Or what would you let Jordan Pickford go, or would you keep him at all costs?
Well, obviously the rumours are it's 30 million. If it's 30 million, and I'm Everton, I'm saying straight away, no chance. He is, to us, I'd say he's probably one of our most valuable players, alongside Onana and Calvert-Lewin. Well, Calvert-Lewin once, but
yeah,
I think Pickford is a massive, massive player in our team, and we'd be looking for upwards of 60, 70 million for him. That's just what I'd take, and other teams are going to see that and laugh at it. But you've got to look at us. He's valuable to us. That's how much he's worth to us. I wouldn't let Pickford go. I don't think Pickford wants to go. Judging off what he said in his interview when he signed a new contract, and I don't think he would have signed a new contract because obviously if you're looking ahead, where are Everton going to be? We may get relegated, and he's thinking that at that time we may get relegated, but I want to stay here. And if he signs the contract with the doubts that we get relegated, I can't see him leaving this summer.
No, I honestly make sense. My biggest thing is like when we got rid of Lukaku and Stones and stuff like that, and you think, well, who'd you replace them with? Who'd you replace Jordan Pickford with? As good as Jordan Pickford, you don't.
Exactly.
You've got to go and sign a young goalkeeper who you give 2 years to. We haven't got 2 years, unfortunately. In the position we're in now, we haven't got 2 years. We're not an Aston Villa that can look for the future and go, well, let's plan 2 years ahead. Whatever.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're in the position now where we've got to get players in that'll sort of take us to another level where it sounds terrible actually, but a 13th, a 12th, an 11th, where you go, right, well, now we're there. We can now build on that and move up the table more. I personally, you've got to, unless a mad bid comes in, you've got to keep Jordan Pickford, in my opinion.
Spot on, lad. The last point we've got is recently Coleman has extended his stay at Everton. I'm assuming it'll be a 1 year extension. What do you make of that? What do you think? I think it was a no-brainer for me, given the circumstances, and obviously Coleman, like you said in the preview, he'll want the proper send-off. He's been at Everton for 14 years. He'll want the proper send-off. So I think it's a no-brainer that we keep him for the next year.
Oh, mate, listen. If the board thought it was bad then, if they'd have let James Coleman walk out that door without a testimonial or a final game, and the last thing he ever did was an Everton player getting stretched off against Leicester, we'd have burned that club, that ground to the floor, because he's loved by every single Evertonian. The man is absolutely loved. Within the club, everyone, you listen to Conor Cody, you can't speak highly enough of him. You look at that thing last season with Frank Lampard saying he's one of the best men he's ever met in football. Now, your opinion of Frank Lampard can be whatever it wants, but that man's had some football career. For him to say that is unbelievable. He's got to go out on his terms. We've got to bow down to Seamus Coleman and go, whatever you want. But the man's not going to go, I want this amount of money. He's just going to be, let me go out with the final game. Hopefully it's the end of the next season, at the end of Goodison Park, and it's his final game that he can wave goodbye to everyone. That's why, just to touch on a little bit, I was a bit gutted about the pitch invasion because I didn't get to say goodbye to Yerry Mina. Because I was a bit like, well, I know Yerry Mina hasn't been what Coleman's been, but he was brilliant the last few games, and he never got to actually say goodbye, and I can't do that to Seamus Coleman.
When fit and called upon, Yerry Mina, without a doubt, for me, probably beside Tarkowski, Everton's best centre half, and unfortunately he went fit for most of it, but without a doubt, Yerry Mina, he was an unbelievable centre back, and hopefully when he goes on in the future and moves to a different club, he can stay fit, because I would like to see Yerry Mina do well and reach what he can reach.
No, just to get your final opinion on Seamus Coleman. Obviously, it's a year deal, and I don't think he's going to be offering Coleman a 4-year deal. But if he gets fit and ready, would you put him back? Would you be that bothered about starting the season with Seamus Coleman playing at right back? I know people want to go, well, we can't, but I don't think he's done anything wrong.
No, I think as football fans, we get this illusion that once a player's past the age of 31, then they're finished and they can't play a game of football. If you watch Seamus Coleman in the past year, how old is he? 34, 33? If you watched him last season, he does not perform like he's a 34-year-old. He was absolutely immense last season when called upon. And for me, without a doubt, if Patterson's fit and ready, though, I think Patterson's a starter ahead of Seamus Coleman. But the backup and the mentor of Seamus Coleman, that's exactly what we need. And the experience that he's got and the love by Everton fans to him. So for me, I think Coleman, he could come in and play a few games here and there. I don't think he can play the full season, but it's 100% definitely keep him in the squad.
Yeah, keeping him in and around it as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
because I think you've lost. Everton Football Club can't lose Yerry Mina, Connor Cody, and Seamus Coleman. The leadership in them three, you can't lose that because they'll just fall to pieces. You look at the likes of Mason Holgate and Michael Keane, who's a massive confidence player. He needs that arm around his shoulder. He needs that, you'll be all right, don't worry. And if we lose all three of them, there's probably only Pickford and Tarkowski. You go, well, they'd do it. And that's a lot to be asking. You're asking two lads to look after 23 other men. It can't happen. You need more. That's why I wanted to sign Cody. Maybe not for his footballing ability, but just for who he is.
Yeah, definitely.
Just before we go as well, I know we touched on it in the beginning. The what you call partnership that we've sort of come together now, the Paddock Blues and Everton Extra. Just for people that are listening, what can they sort of expect going forward now?
What we wanted originally when we formed it is a bit of a diversity. Do you know what I mean? Like with the long episodes and then the short, snappy episodes with the 10-15 minute videos and updates, and it's something us Everton fans haven't really seen. So I think you can expect short videos and obviously the continuous podcast. But we've got an extended team now, so the content's going to be coming twice, maybe 3 times a week and whatnot. So definitely, it's more consistent and diverse content. That's it.
Brilliantly. Look, honestly, I'll probably speak for everyone in the Paddock Blues. Though, we're looking forward to it. We are looking forward to it, and just speaking to you over the last couple of days, we're buzzing to get going again. We all said that we wanted to break from Everton, but I think we all can't wait to start.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Horrible what they do.
100%, mate.
Listen, thanks very much for joining me today, mate.
No worries.
It's a massive day at Everton Football Club, so I'm glad that you were able to jump on and give us your opinion. We got to people out there got to meet you, and you'll be on a lot more. This is not going to be the last time you're going to be on by any means. We've also got other lads that are going to come on, aren't we? There's a few others that'll come on and give their opinion on Everton. So I'm really looking forward to it, mate, and can't wait to get started.
Me too, mate. Thank you very much.
And as we'll be saying this, up the toffees.
Up the toffees.